On this episode of I Do, it is all about you. No bride wants a cookie cutter wedding, so let's have some fun and color outside the lines. Welcome to I Do, the ultimate wedding show. I'm your host, Chelsea Cardwell. Today on the show, we are at the Commanding General's Residence and Garden in historic Fort Monroe in Hampton, Virginia. This beautiful home was built in 1907 and originally served as the residence for the Commanding Generals of the Coast Artillery on Fort Monroe. The historic fort played a very important role during the Civil War. In fact, it was nicknamed Freedom Fortress after the famous Fort Monroe Doctrine, which granted freedom to any slave that was able to make it to the fort. Fort Monroe was deactivated in 2011, but several years later, the Commanding General's Residence and Garden was opened to the public as a rentable venue to hold special private events. Its lovely revival architecture, beautiful gardens, and amazing views of the Chesapeake Bay make this the perfect place for your dream wedding.
Fort Monroe is the largest stone fort within the United States. Construction started in 1819 and it was completed in 1830. The fort is at the entrance to the Chesapeake Bay, which is the main waterway to Washington, D.C., so it is a great defensive position. We're in the Commanding General's Residence. It was built in 1908, and the generals for the fort lived in here during their time. After the fort was deactivated in 2011, it was a private residence for a couple years. It has been a venue for approximately 3 years. We host a lot of events in the house, weddings, we've had birthday parties, baby showers, cocktail parties, all kinds of events. The house is a beautiful place for any event. It was built in the classic revival style of architecture. When you look around, there's a lot of details, the molding, the chandeliers, the sconces. There's not a lot that you need to add for a wedding. The decorations, you can do as much or as little as you like. You truly don't need a lot when you start looking at the details. It's a very intimate space. It's not a big ballroom. Not everybody's gonna sit together, but you get to go from room to room. So you can have one room set up for just dancing and cocktails and another room for just family. When you rent the house, you get it from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. When we give you the space, you can do with it what you want, when you want. We don't have a vendor list. You can bring in the vendor of your choice. You can even cater it yourself if you so choose. We do have a list of vendors that have used our facilities that are aware of its uniqueness that we'll be happy to provide, but you are not limited to it. We have 3 separate ceremony venues here on the fort. We have the gardens, which are right behind the house. You can get married back there, you can have your reception back there. We have the house itself, of course, and then we also have the bandstand, which is in the park right across the street from the house. It has beautiful views of the water, it's a huge bandstand. This is a historic and elegant venue. Whether you're a history fan or military buff or just love beautiful things, we invite you to have your wedding here with us.
This iconic wedding venue is perfect for your most memorable day. Speaking of memorable, we asked for your videos and you sent them. When Hunter proposed to his girlfriend, he knew he'd want to add his creative touch to the engagement process. Check out this one-of-a-kind save the date.
I must confess,
I'm Amy
when I wear
DeChris.
this dress,
I'm Hunter
I feel
Prince.
like dancing the whole night with you. And when I do, I feel so happy, I'm stuck on you. 'Cause you are the one I could see having fun with, not just for the night, but for the rest of my life. You are the one I could never be done with. I want you tonight and for the rest of my life. You are so dreamy, feel like I'm in the movies. I feel so happy, I'm stuck on you. 'Cause you are the one I could see having fun with, not just for the night, but for the rest of my life. You are the one I could never be done with. I want you tonight and for the rest of my life too. I'm stuck on you.
Do you have a great proposal or wedding story that you caught on video? Send us your beautiful or disastrous or perfect or crazy wedding or engagement videos. We'd love to check them out and share them on the show. Don't change the channel, because when we come back, we're going to talk about what happens after the wedding. Welcome back to I Do. Unfortunately, there's no intro course to becoming a bride, but thankfully we have Janelle from Vivid Expressions who is here to help us answer those questions we didn't even know we had. Thanks so much for coming back and visiting us, Janelle.
Thanks for having me. I'm so happy to talk to you again.
Yeah, me too, because I have a lot of questions.
And I have a lot of answers.
Good, I need help. So I was wondering, one of the biggest things I would be super embarrassed to ask, but I think everybody thinks of, is what's the difference between a wedding planner, a day of planner, and what you do?
Okay, this is a great question because a lot of times when you're getting married, you don't even know that there's a difference. But there's actually those three categories, and kind of break it down like this. Your planner plans. They actually help you with the full concept of everything for the wedding. Think project manager. They help with contracts, they help schedule appointments, refer for big things and little things, from hair and makeup to cake tastings and things like that. Then they take that plan, and if you don't have a coordinator, then they actually implement that plan on the day of and coordinate that. But if you've been a DIY planner or bride the whole time, you may want to just consider having a month of or day of coordinator who actually does a month of. Okay. And they take that plan and they execute it. So planner plans it, coordinator actually executes it. What I do as a designer, I'm kind of a little bit different. Think of me more like an interior designer, but for the special day. So I actually help with all the aesthetic planning. The linens, the lighting, the decor items, flower selections, all those elements of visually telling the love story, that's what we do, and then we actually do the fulfillment of it.
Right.
So that's kind of where I play.
You're the artist.
Yes, I'm the artist.
Very cool. What is the difference between a theme and a style?
Okay, so theme and style may sound similar, but they're very different. A theme is just a general idea or a concept you're trying to convey. Let's say you wanted to do a beach wedding, or maybe you wanted to do a Lord of the Rings wedding, or maybe you just wanted to do just a country wedding. The theme is the idea that you're trying to carry across. Your style is how you're carrying it. You can have a beach theme wedding, but that style could be natural and organic. It could be very modern and very chic. It could be very romantic and soft and billowy, but that style will determine how you convey and share your theme with your guests.
Wonderful. So I see you brought a lot of different things here to play with. So what's going on here?
Okay, so the next thing I usually do after I help a bride and groom determine their specific style and how they want to carry that across to all their guests is we talk about colors. And a lot of times people will say, well, I like blue, so let's do a blue and white wedding or a blue and black wedding, because they really don't know how else to make the colors work. Right. But there's actually a lot of different color theories and color harmonies you could actually create. And we actually use tools like color wheels, my floral design books, which actually show different flowers in every color in the rainbow.
That is awesome.
And we can help determine, you know, what type of flower is going to best help convey that look for them. Right. And perhaps if you do like the color blue, instead of doing just blue and white, maybe we might want to consider doing something called a monochromatic, where we actually kind of go through the color wheel and we go through dark blue to light blue. Or we might do something called analogous, where we go from blue across to different colors and kind of combine these colors together.
They all go together. So you can help the color challenge.
Exactly, like exactly. Finding that way to incorporate the colors that you love into the look that you love.
Janelle, thank you again so much. I learned a ton.
Oh, it's so my pleasure.
So I'm a little bit country, and he's a little bit rock and roll. How on earth are we going to combine two of our personalities into one? I went back to Grand Furniture, and they broke it down for me. We are in the Grand Furniture showroom with Jacqui and Steven. Thanks so much for having us.
Thanks for being here.
So what do you do here?
We are visual merchandisers, so we take the product that Grand offers, it comes in on a regular basis, and we make it pretty for the showroom so the customer can visualize it in their own home.
Wonderful. You can take all of my crazy ideas and make it one gorgeous place.
Exactly.
Awesome. So one big thing that a lot of couples and families have to deal with is integrating their two homes and still making it a family house environment, right?
Correct.
Yes. So how can you do that?
It's about merging two lifestyles, and an easy way to do it is if you're taking one sofa set from one household and blending it with another, you can do it with easily blend it with accessories, and you can soften it up. If you're starting fresh and new with a brand new set from Grand Furniture, gray is the new neutral.
Okay.
So gray is the easiest way to blend with any color that you choose to work in your home, of whatever color palette you choose to work with. So it's the best way to, pillows are a great way to accessorize and change up the look of a piece.
Right, so you can almost find a really great set that you can last a lifetime, right?
Correct. Yes.
And then change it up with some accessories.
Right, so whatever the new hot color is of the season, it's easy to change it up later down the line as long as you have a good staple to start with, like a sofa.
Changing accessories is also budget friendly.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yes. Which is a big hot topic around your wedding, of
Correct.
course.
Correct.
Wonderful. Can you show us some of those pillows?
Yes, we can. Let's go choose some. So the set we have here is already on the masculine side with the gray tones and then the blue pillows. We have some of the industrial look with the metal vases and the greenery, and then a more masculine, neutral, transitional lamp. And then we can always make it more feminine with these pillows. And then we can also change up with the cocktail table and end tables and make that a little more feminine. By changing out the pillows, the cocktail table, and the lamp, it made the whole setting a little bit more feminine and changed the whole look. You can also change up to something a little more family-friendly with a geometric design and has more of the gray tones. And we can also introduce other accessories that work with these pillows. Simply by changing a few accessories, we kept the main staples of the sofa and love seat and made it more family-friendly. We took away the glass, we incorporated a more industrial lamp and accessories, a tabletop, and we replaced the cocktail table with a cocktail ottoman, which is a little softer for little ones, and again with more industrial, so it's more family-friendly for when your family grows.
This is absolutely amazing. Accessories really can change the story of a room.
They absolutely can. It's such an inexpensive way to change up your room with your existing furniture that you may already have, or when you change to something brand new that Grand can offer you.
Thank you guys so much. I've learned so much. And I mean, I'm buying accessories now.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I hope you were taking notes. Remember, happy spouse, happy house. They say marriage is all about compromise, right? But that's not necessarily true about your wedding day. When we come back, Studio I Do will show you just how to get exactly what you want. Welcome back to I Do, the ultimate wedding show. We are here for our second day at this beautiful location. There are many amazing moments in a wedding, but there is nothing that will take your breath away like seeing the bride in her dress for the very first time. Did you know that you can customize your wedding gown to be the dress of your dreams? At Studio I Do, you can. Watch this.
Studio I Do really tries to represent the best of the best in the bridal business, as well as the best quality, the best price point. Designers that are really sought after in the industry and asked about, we really try to have here in the studio for brides to see.
My name is Ashley McAkron, and I'm the owner of Studio I Do Bridals in Virginia Beach. Studio I Do Bridal stands out a little differently from other stores in the area because we have a team, myself and a few others, that get to travel and hand-pick these dresses specially for our brides. We also sit on a panel of a select few retailers in the country, some of the top bridal retailers, that actually curate, design, and select gowns for some of the designers we house here at the studio. We also have the opportunities through those designers to create one-of-a-kind dresses that were meant just for Studio I Do brides. We definitely give our input and have a voice for all of the brides that shop in our area. Really, the state of Virginia, because of our two locations in Virginia Beach and Roanoke, we see a lot of different brides that look for a diverse selection of styles, which we house at both locations. But what we want is we want to bring any style that our brides are looking for and make sure we have the best selection of those styles in our studios and make it location specific. So here in Virginia Beach, we look for a lot of whimsical, soft styles that are great for outdoor weddings or beach weddings, where in Roanoke, we try to bring designs that are a little bit more rustic or mountainous that work well for wineries or more vineyard weddings. So it's style specific through each location, and what myself and the owner of the Roanoke store look for is we're constantly trying to bring more selection of what our brides need, and we change it every 6 months. We're bringing in new dresses to facilitate those needs for our brides and staying on top of all the trends that are out there. Because of our opportunities in going to the markets and sitting in these design meetings, we also have the opportunity to get dresses flown into us before they hit any other bridal retailer or even a collection. What they call these pieces are testing pieces. So a designer might not be sure if it's worth going into their line for the coming season, and they'll ship it to us, they'll let us keep it for a couple months, and we'll just get feedback on those styles from our brides. And what's great is our brides might be the only bride that ever gets to wear that dress, or the bride is giving us enough feedback to where we can say to the designer, you know what, this was a great dress and other brides need to see it as well. We love it when a bride comes in with inspiration photos. The most common is them coming in with their cell phone and showing us their Pinterest board. And we love that as stylists because it just gives us a quick glimpse of what they see their wedding day being. Whether we see a bride's Pinterest board full of lace gowns or full of ball gowns, or sometimes it's all over the place, it gives us an idea of who that bride is before we take them to the showroom and show them our collection of dresses. It's a good starting off point. And our stylists here are really good at navigating the bride through the process and through the gowns and really tailoring each experience and each dress to them and what their Pinterest board looks like. We bring that to life here in the studio for them. So we're gonna take a style, whether it's a lace or a ball gown, we're gonna show them our selection, but we're gonna also build on that and show them some alternatives that may work as well that they've never even thought of.
As you can see, with help from Studio I Do, you can make a wedding gown that is just as unique and wonderful as you are. Speaking of unique, every bride wants a one-of-a-kind engagement ring to show up to their family and friends. Goodman & Sons will help you create a ring that perfectly reflects what's in your heart. Here's how.
Every client is different. Every couple is different. One thing that's unique about all of them is that everybody's taste is different. So everyone wants to inject their personal style into their engagement ring, and customization gives that opportunity. The customization process is very simple. Technology has made it so. There was a day in which you'd have to have a jeweler sit down, we'd have to sketch it out on paper, we'd then have to carve it into wax, you'd have to prove every change would have to be carved into wax. It made it very time consuming, it made it very expensive. Now with CAD software, it's very simple. Sometimes I don't even draw the designs. Oftentimes I just take pictures, we can recreate it in the software. We send the email to the customer or have them come in and we review it with them. It looks just like the ring. Then we print the 3D model in wax, hard wax. It looks just like the ring. And then we cast it in the precious metal of their choice. So the process is so easy. It's just technology has made it so more accessible to today's market. From beginning to end, customization can take anywhere from 3 to 6 weeks, I would say. Normally it's about 4 weeks is a good general time to give yourself to do something custom. Although I can work under the gun, I prefer not. We want to take our time to create your special piece, and so give it the time it deserves. We can create anything. I think I made a Batman wedding band some years ago, Michael Keaton version with the white gold ring and a yellow gold Batman. It was a great looking ring, it was cool. The bride was okay with it, and so we went with it. And so, you know, it's whatever you want. It's your personal style. We've had people incorporate their grandmother's rings into custom rings, or they want to have a piece of the past and some of the present. So they'll take a current diamond that they purchase and add diamonds from other family members' rings. It's absolutely gorgeous. I've had them do that with pendants that they've worn on their wedding days. So customization can go a number of ways, and it's always the personal touch that makes it so special. The biggest fear people have is that they will customize something and not like it. Well, it's difficult to do in this process because you're going to be involved every step of the way. Every change that we make before it's cast will be made in a computer. It makes the change very simple. It makes it very substantial. You can see this. It's not a cartoon. This is the actual CAD. This is the image of your ring, just not in physical form. Then we take it a step farther and we carve the wax. So at that point, hopefully, we would hope that we would catch any discrepancies. But oftentimes, you know, things like something simple like sizing, you know, I had a baby now, and so the ring doesn't fit. Okay, we can size certain things. I have relationships with my casting houses where I can recast. I had a situation where a gentleman wanted a ring made and he picked the wrong metal type. No problem, we just recast the ring for him. Small fee involved in that, but not the cost of remaking the entire piece. So we always do our best as we can to curb those types of situations. Here at Goodman & Sons, even though we're local and based here in Hampton, Virginia, and we have a location in Williamsburg, Virginia, I've had clients who live in California, Southern California actually. I just custom made a bridal ring for a gentleman last month who lives in Southern California. His parents lived here, he was familiar with our store, and we made a ring for him and we shipped it to him, and he was over the moon with the design. So don't feel that because you're not here, you can't get the hometown feel. No matter where you're watching this program, we're here to help you.
Make sure to listen to your future fiancé and pay special attention to any hints. That way, Goodman & Sons can help you create the perfect engagement ring. Don't forget to send us your videos. We are dying to see them. Check us out on Facebook, and if you missed any of this episode, you can watch it on yourview.com. That's it for this episode of I Do. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. I hope y'all were taking notes. Remember, happy spouse, happy house. If you have any videos, send them to us. We are dying to see them. Check us out on Facebook, and golly gee.
That's it for this episode?
I know it's it. This iconic wedding video is video. You can actually design a dress to make the dress of your dreams. Dude, sorry. At Goodman & Sons, they'll help you create a ring that perfectly reflects what's in your heart. Here's how. I messed it up at the very last line. I mean, I had it, I just blue, 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 blue.